Good morning. Oh, there we go. Good morning, everyone. My name is Erick Silvermoon. I have the amazing pleasure and honor of sitting down and having a quick little discussion with Flora Sage about her wonderful new adventure with the Business Bootcamp with Flora Sage Institute, LLC. I'm so excited. Um, I did this course with Flora not so long ago, a couple weeks ago, and I mean the reviews, the amount of aha moments. We were talking a little bit earlier about them is phenomenal. It's fabulous. I've really got a chance to shift my whole business mindset, my money mindset, figuring out my self sabotage and all that stuff. So I'll talk a little bit about that later. And so, how you doing, Flora?
I'm great. I'm so excited to be, speaking with you today because it's like, there's so much to talk about.
Good. And so I'm super excited about it because we haven't had a Google Hangout in like forever. And there's actually on my YouTube our 29-day moon challenge one, and I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, that was a long time ago. So
Yeah.
now reunited. So I like it. So I do want to ask a couple questions, not too many, not so in depth, but what inspired you to create the new course, Business Bootcamp?
Oh, I do business and I do personal coaching. And the thing that I noticed in my business coaching is every single person just kind of threw stuff together and with no rhyme or reason. And so I introduced the sales funnel to them. Sometimes it's called the sales map. And basically what that is a series of products or services that all support each other at various levels. And another thing, that people didn't really know how to schedule their time. They didn't really know how to structure their day so that they can maximize their time sitting at their computer doing whatever it is that they're doing. And I just saw all these gaps that people didn't have in place in their business, and I noticed that when I gave them or showed them how to fill in those gaps, they started to make money first and foremost. They started to save time during their day, and they're like, oh my God, I actually got finished at like 2 o'clock today. I didn't have anything to do, so I went to the gym or, went tanning or whatever. And so I was like, well, I think I have something here. So that's what really inspired me is seeing all my private clients use what I was giving them and really excelling and really soaring in their business and just making mountains of change. And, a lot of this, what I share in this program is what I share in my Level 2 program, which is my spiritual empowerment coach training program, and which is a 6-month course. But I really wanted it to be really short so that people could get in, get out, and get on with their life and get back to their genius. So that's what really inspired me to do this course and to create it and to offer it to people who really want to make a difference in the world.
That's amazing. And I'm glad that you mentioned about the structure part, because that's one thing I lacked in my business. There was no structure. I think I talked to you about how my spiritual business was pretty much almost like a hobby. I had my day job, and then I had my hobby, which my hobby was my passion. And so, but there was no structure. It was just a bunch of stuff. And so seeing the tools that you provided and being able to track it, it didn't only just set you up for success, it set you to have success and a life.
Yeah.
You could take, like you said, go to the gym. You didn't realize how, if you organize yourself, you had that free time, a huge amount of free time to either take in more clients or just enjoy your time. So I loved it. I love the structure part.
Yeah.
So, and I know that you mentioned, because I know you've taken a lot of stuff in your experience. So was there anything that was lacking from the big packages that you see nowadays, that is something different from your package?
That's a really good question. Yeah, being an entrepreneur for so long and having parents that were entrepreneurs as well, both of them had day jobs and both of them had another business. My mom sold insurance. My dad was the director of purchasing during the day. After that, they owned a video center. They sold Shackley. They sold honey. They were beekeepers. So, and I saw what it took to actually build a business, and they took educational classes, they took entrepreneurial classes, and classes that they knew would advance them. And so that was something I learned early on. And so when I was starting to take classes, I've got my bachelor's in business with, like 2 minors in, marketing and management. And that was good, but that was more of the brick and mortar. That wasn't the online. And so when I started taking classes online, I noticed that it was really basic 101 stuff, but not a whole lot of advanced stuff, and not a whole lot of things that you could actually use on a day-to-day basis, because there was so much stuff to do, but they didn't give you any structure to it. And the ones that did provide certain amount of structures, they skipped certain things that I felt was really essential to having a smooth day, because from day to day you're sitting in your office going, okay, now what do I do? And so in this class, what I provide is a way for you to get all your ideas down and out, and then for you to say, okay, what's my next step? And that's the thing that a lot of people are going, oh my God, Flora, you're blowing my mind. Because literally all these other programs, they give you so much information but no structure on how to organize it or how to put it into an actual plan of action. And as you know, my plan of actions are very simple. They're tiny, bite-sized chunks, but each bite-sized chunk creates a huge shift in your business. And I use my own stuff. I use my own tools. And, that's the one part about this program is I tell all. I share how I run my business. And it works. It really does.
That's amazing. And, I would definitely agree with you. You've been one of my teacher, mentor, guru, everything for a couple of years now. And, the reason someone really invests their time and energy in another person like yourself and myself is there's an authenticity. It's not something where like, oh, I think I'm just going to put this out there and, to see how people like it. What I noticed with you and all your products is that you've done it yourself. Before you do anything, you sit through that course and sit within, see how your aha moments come, and then you ask somebody else, like in this situation, try it out, let me know what you think, should I improve on it? I don't know anybody else that does that, because sometimes you get a product and it's not authentic. It feels like it's a cut and paste job from other people. This was the real deal, which I really liked, and it got me excited to continue it, because I was like, I saw your energy from the audio classes, and I was just like, yes, I'm so excited. And a lot of the audio classes I've listened to before don't have that excitement, and so I was really grateful for that as well. That I know that you try everything yourself, so that was awesome.
And also, when I create my products and services, the springboard for that is when I notice I'm doing certain things consistently over and over again, and I'm like, this works for me. Maybe I'm going to share it with somebody else, And whenever I write my outlines for my classes, I just sit and I'm like, okay, what do I do when I do this? And I just write down my step by step. And then in my classes, I just say, hey, this is what I do. These are the step by steps. And all of my classes, as you know, I share from a place, I teach from a place of sharing, not from a place of, well, I know everything, because I don't. I don't. I just know what I've experienced, what I've been through, what works, what doesn't work. And I encourage the student to take what I've shared and to run with it. Take what I've given you, see what works, what doesn't work for you, and whatever works for you, go for it. Use that as a springboard to move to the next level in your business, because what works for me might not work for somebody else. But the systems that I share with you, I know work, but how you work inside of those systems is up to you. And which I think is why this program resonates with so many people, because it doesn't feel rigid. I've taken classes before where it's so geared toward one particular niche that I felt like, why should I even be in this class? This doesn't even apply to me. I don't even know how to apply this in my niche, because it's so niche specific. for that particular niche, and I'm like, ah, this is another $3,000 down the drain, you know.
Yeah, and that's difficult because it's one of those things where it's when you put your money and time and effort into something and it didn't pay off, it could cause you to not even try to pursue your dreams. And so, what I liked about the business bootcamp course is that it wasn't specific. I had a specific intention for it, but it didn't tell me what the specific was. It's an open course. It could be a day job. It could be a business job. It could be an office job. It could be a stay-at-home mom, how to better prioritize your stuff. It could be a spiritual business thing. I mean, it was what's the word I want to use? The infinite amount of possibilities of this course and the amount of people that it would work for. It's amazing because it's not tailored for anybody specific. It's just, this is great information that anybody could use for anything. So I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Specifically general.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that because,
I like that.
Yeah, very much is, this is, A through Z, what you can do, but what you do within A, within B is according to you and your niche. But it's step-by-steps within the A, the step-by-steps within the B, the step-by-steps within the C. And that's the thing that I think, why people get so excited, because it's like, oh my God, I can totally apply this right away. It's not, well, how can I configure this so that I can apply it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree. Yeah, and I mean, like you mentioned before, the action plans are sweet, short, and to the point, and they're easy to implement into your everyday life. Because I usually have to, when I hear something really amazing and I don't know how to apply it, I have to break it down and then dissect it and figure out what it was, and by the time I'm over it, I'm just done. I don't want to do it. It's too much work. And so this way, I was just like, oh, I'm done. Like, it just click, 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 click on my stuff, add it to my Google Calendar, it's done, it's scheduled, super easy, and the payoff has been amazing. So my next question is, this course has bootcamp in the title, so in my experience, it did require a lot of my hard work and a lot of my time and a lot of my, what I like to call shadow work. It allowed you to really be honest with yourself. And so, would you agree that this course is not for someone that is not serious about their business? I believe this is something for people that are serious. And so what are your thoughts about that?
I never hold hands in my programs. My biggest thing for myself and everybody that I work with, my ideal client takes 100% responsibility for their life, for their business, and for their success. And this program is for the people who have a business, who want to succeed, who are in it to win it. This is for the people who really want to invest in themselves now, which therefore will invest in their business and themselves in the future. When you invest in yourself with a program or a masterclass like this one, and you're really in it to win it, you're really in it to do the work, make the choices, make the changes, really step up and say, I'm ready to do this. And you're willing to sit down and invest an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours every day in your business. You're going to be working anyway, so why not do something that's fun and exciting? And the thing about this class that I've noticed, well, not just this class, but I think all my classes, is that because it's so usable, people do the work, but it doesn't feel like work. They're so inspired and they're so excited. They're like, oh my God, this is exciting. And then whoosh, you go down the rabbit hole. You do the work, and then you're like 2 hours later, wow, I got so much done. And I spent 2 hours doing it, whereas before it would have taken me 6. That's one thing that I've heard so many times. That's the biggest question that I get. Flora, how do you get so much done in such a short period of time? I give you the secrets in this class. I really, truly do.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but it very much is that boot camp, because we're in, it's hot and heavy, boom, here you go, and you take it off and you just run with it. And that's what it is in regular boot camp, because I am a veteran of the Marine Corps. You're in there, but because you're so passionate about it, it can be intense, but it's one of those exciting intense and you're passionate about. You're like, whoa, you know, you're being all ninja about it, and you do it, but you get so much done in such a short period of time, and you start to see the results of your actions right away. It's not like you put these actions into place and then it's crickets. You really start to see those results right away, which is so exciting.
No, I definitely agree. And since we're talking about results, this is a perfect segue to talking about some of the testimonials that you've received so far. Because I know that one of mine was really long, and I didn't expect you to share that whole entire letter of thank yous to you. But I mean, for me, it was mind blowing. And so this is actually one from Kimmy. She says, "This program was an answer to my prayers. It changed my business and my life. This is everything I needed to make my business boom and so much more." And that's from Kimmy. Another one that I really liked as well is from Amy, and she says, "Business Bootcamp with Flora is an action-packed program filled with so many helpful info and tips presented in an organized and simple way." And it's absolutely true. And another one I have from Katie is, "In this course, I have gotten more clarity with how to move my business from bleh to super powerful and profitable than any other course I have taken before." And so I love that. And then the last one is from Crystal. She says, "This program is one of the most valuable programs I have ever taken for my business." And so, I mean, that's huge. And for me personally, I mean, oh gosh, that first moment when you sit down and you have your notes, and I'm kind of just like, I have my tea, I hit the audio, and I'm seeing the course. I got so excited. It felt right. It was aligned of what I needed. I mean, that first week course, oh my God. Okay, so to talk about my past experience, going through the whole changing my website, changing everything, investing in my business, because I knew that was a must. You have to invest in your business.
Yeah.
And so I did the newsletter things. I tried for a month. I kept, putting money in it, and it wasn't paying off. I got one person to subscribe to my newsletter, and that cost me money. I was like, I paid a whole 30-month thing, and I only got one person. Is it the content? Is it, what's wrong with it? Is it my intention? And the thing that I figured out is that it wasn't the intention. I wasn't very clear on what I wanted to portray. And through that course, I was able to be honest of what I want to send out, make it short, sweet, and to the point, get it out there. And I was cussed. I was like, no shit, within 24 hours. Seriously, within 24 hours, I had over 30 subscribers in 24 hours. And I got really emotional, and I said the F-bomb a couple times, and I said, why the hell am I doing this to myself? I was like, why did I felt bad in that moment, but then I felt that quick shift to, it was a process. You needed to see the way you were doing it right and how you were going to do it correctly. And so that was big. And through your business bootcamp, you also have the shift your money mindset for audio class with the workbook. I mean, holy crap. I was in a self-sabotage spiral going downwards. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how I was sabotaging my finances and making myself financially broke. I just couldn't do it. So that caused me to really be honest with myself and see what my money story is, my past money story is, my present money story is, and then scrap it and write my new future money story. That was another emotional event where I felt really excited, and I printed it out and I put it on my vision board, and I'll read it time to time. And I feel like I'm finally on that road to success. And so, I don't want to talk anymore because I'll start crying. But it was fantastic. And so, what has your experience been receiving all these testimonials from this program?
I've been thanking my spirit guides a lot. I'm like, thanks, Steve. Well, as any person who creates anything, they always hope that it's going to be well received, and they always hope that the results that they're promising are the results that the people are doing whatever it is that they've created, or consuming it, is what they actually get, and the results have been more so. That's one of the things that I hear all the time is, Flora, your marketing does not do your programs justice, because you totally over deliver. You always give so much more than what you're promising on your website, on your sales page, in your copy. And so I just let the testimonials try to sell the program for me, because as a creator, I'm actually a very outgoing introvert. So when it comes to creating my sales pages and trying to convey how epic the program is, I really can't do it justice. And your testimonials are the ones that really, it's very humbling, actually, reading everyone's testimonials. It's like, oh, so to answer your question, it's just been very humbling, and I'm grateful that what works for me is working for other people, and I've always tried to make things as simple as possible, but not simpler. That's an Albert Einstein quote. Love Einstein. But that's been my motto forever, is try to make it as simple as possible, but not simpler. And that's something that the courses I've taken before, I know that we spoke about this earlier, but the courses I've taken before have been so complicated and so much stuff that wasn't really relevant, and many times didn't even produce the results that they were, claiming that you could, receive. And, so in hearing and reading the results from people that they've had, like I said, has been really humbling and really exciting, because that was my goal, is to have someone go through the program, do the work, and see results right away. And the biggest thing that I know that this program creates is more time. And that's one of my measures of success, is to have extra time. And that's why we got little clocks all over the sales page, because doing the work, you will save so much time during the day. You can actually get your life back. My parents were entrepreneurs. They didn't have any free time. Well, rarely did they have free time. And I didn't want that for myself. I've got 2 kids. And so I wanted to create a business that I could have free time in. And seeing others in the community struggle with having 2 jobs and working all the time and being exhausted and being at the verge of burnout, I didn't want anybody else to have to go through that. And that was also one of the motivating factors for me in creating this. And so in seeing the results and hearing the results of, I got so much done in such a short period of time, I'm like, yay! So, it's just so exciting to know that the program really works for people in all different kinds of niches, not just in coaching. In all different kinds of niches across the board, it's working for everyone who chooses to implement and do the work. And like I said, the work is easy, especially because this is in your passion. This is in your dream job. And so it doesn't feel like work. Yeah, it might take a lot of time. Well, actually, not even a whole lot of time, but it's just when you're doing what you love, it doesn't feel like work.
No, I agree. That's so exciting to hear, because I know you're talking about right now about how others weren't very current, and your program is current. I mean, it's fresh. There's stuff that you can use that's out there that's free, which a lot of people don't know how much free stuff is out there that you can use.
Yes.
I do know that you do have to invest in your business. And sorry, my dog just woke up.
Cute.
One of the things that I always remember, and because I had such a fear of money, I have a fear of success and taking on new responsibilities. And in the spiritual business and the spiritual community, people have such a negative feeling about taking in money for their spiritual readings or their products. And one of the things that you said that resonated with me and has helped me push that block is that what I do, my service is free. My time isn't. And so you'll see my dogs running. So that was huge, and I realized, I was like, yeah, what I do, my readings, what I do with my spirit guides, my angels, that's free. That's what I do for you. But that time isn't free. I have a family as well, so I mean that was huge. And
Yep.
so I don't know what your thoughts about that.
And what? I'm sorry.
Oh, I said I don't know if you had any thoughts or any insights about that as well.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that for a long time I struggled with. I felt like, well, I'm here to be of service. And so who am I to deny my services to anyone? And then, but I was doing so much, well, actually all of it for free at the time, way back in the day. And I was getting burnt out. And then I kept having all these dreams and all this information about boundaries. And, your advice is free, but your time is not. And I'm just like, ah. That's so true because time is of the essence. We're only here for a short period of time. And so, I started to put up boundaries. I started to charge for my services. And that was something that, yeah, my advice is free, but my time is not. I'm worthy of success. I'm worthy of getting compensated energetically for the time that I spend in being of service. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you go to work for any corporation, they give you X number of dollars per hour. It's the same thing. They honor that. So why not honor it in yourself? And so many people self-sacrifice in their business because they love what they do and they feel so guided to do it, but they take pennies for it. And you don't deserve that. You deserve to be paid well for your efforts because you are an expert at what you do. And when you start naming it and claiming it, and when you start charging for your time, a whole nother level opens up for your business. A whole nother level opens up. And that's something that I'm really glad that you resonated with that because my desire is to have so many more people recognize, hey, my talents are free, but my time is not, so I'll gladly, let you in, let you know all whatever it is that you're asking about. However, you need to pay for my time. And that is not unrealistic. And that's not something that is being selfish or anything else. I mean, any other profession, regardless of what your profession is, they charge by the hour or by the job or whatever. So that's something that the more people I feel that understand that, the world will be a whole better place.
I love it. That was so delicious, and I say it like that because it's so good, and that's how the course is. You tap into that, and it's so good, and that's why I feel like I'm one of those like motivational speakers, like watching someone like just in their passion, in their truth, and when you align with that, it's amazing to go through this course and do all that hard work, and like you said, not have it feel like work.
Yep.
I mean, there's so many blocks that got busted, so it was amazing. So
Yeah.
I know we're running out of a little bit of time, but I did want to ask you one last question, and it was almost to see if there was any little free nugget of fabulous wisdom that you wanted to give people that might be on the fence about investing in their own business.
Well, do you really want to do this? Do you really want to succeed? If you want to succeed, you truly want to stop working for someone else and you really want to start doing this for yourself, how much are you willing to invest in yourself? Are you willing? Well, if this really is your passion, you will invest in yourself. So how can you invest in yourself? You can read self-help books or books that are in your niche. That's another thing. The farther down you niche, the more that your marketing will speak volumes to your ideal client. You cannot help everybody. That's the one mistake that so many people make, is they just throw everything out there and hope it sticks because they're so general. So my one big piece of advice is to invest in yourself enough to really narrow down and niche super, super fine. The more that you can niche yourself, the more that your marketing and your work will speak volumes to people. But even with that is invest in your business by investing in yourself. Invest in programs that allow you to deepen your knowledge about your niche, to stay fresh. I'm always taking a personal class and a business class at any given time. I usually take at least one per year so that I continue to grow and to work on my stuff and also to keep developing my business. My niche, I'm a simplification coach. That's it. I help people simplify stuff. That is very specific, but in being very specific, I can reach the people who desire more, a simpler way of life. So that's my one nugget of advice is, well, and I've actually got another one. In finding your niche, ask yourself, what need do you see in the marketplace? And I know that this is something that every business person will share with you, is what need do you see and what solution can you provide? So the need that I saw, and if you go back to my Charming Pixie days, you'll know that every single one of my videos helped you to simplify earth-based spiritualism. It helps you simplify how to do the sabbats, how to do the S-bots, how to make sage bundles. That was my very first video, how to make smudge bundles. But I help you simplify. So even from the way beginning, I saw so many people were complicating things. So many people were making it so confusing that people just kind of threw their hands up and they're just like, oh, this is just too confusing. Or am I doing this right? Am I not doing this right? And so from the very beginning, it's how can I help people simplify this? Because every time I saw something, I'm like, oh my God, that's way too complicated. How can I make it simpler? You know, and so when you find, if you really want to speak volumes to people, if you really want to get noticed, ask yourself, what's the need that I'm seeing in the world, and what solution can I provide for the world? What solution do I have? And then niche it down, narrow it down, super, super narrow. The more narrow you can be with your niche, the better and the bigger and the more that your message is going to be shown to those people who really need it. You really will act as a beacon for your ideal client. Like I said, mine is, I'm a simplification coach. Boom! You know, simplify your life and biz. That is under my logo on my website. If you look at anything that I produce, it always helps you to simplify and take everything step by step, but make it as simple as possible, but not simpler. Thanks, Albert Einstein. But that's my nugget of advice, is figure out the need that you are filling, the solution that you're providing for people, and niche it down, narrow it down, super fine, then share from your spirit. And when you share from your spirit, you're going to just do natural marketing anyway, because you're going to be so excited about whatever it is that you're doing. That's all your marketing right there, is just your passion about you sharing your solutions for everybody. So that's my little nugget of advice.
So fabulous. That wasn't a free nugget. That was a free boulder of wisdom. I just adore you so much, Flora. And I know we're out of time, so I just want to thank you for hanging out with me this morning and talking spirit, talking business, talking success. And I just love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yay! So hopefully this isn't the last one. I'm sure I'll be doing many of your adventures, and one day maybe I'll ask you one of my adventures.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Well, I appreciate everyone who checked in with us this morning, and for those that are going to continue watching the pre-recorded one, and I wish you all much love, light, and peace. Thank you so much, and thank you, Flora.
Bye.